going to hit the record button. And now it's recording. So now we shall take a look at the Hasbro stream figures. Admittedly, I do know that some of them I did kind of share with you beforehand.
Yes, that Air Razor figure.
Yeah. So we have.
Didn't you also show me that Cheetor figure?
Yes. Yeah, I had, but yeah. So we have Studio Series Air Razor, of which, yeah, that had technically been officially revealed a decent bit before they actually did the stream. Yeah. I remember we had decided it honestly looks a bit like the face is overly masculine, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I do remember that. And even now, looking at it, looks completely masculine.
Yeah. Let's see. So hang on. I'll go. I will note I have them. I have everything in the folder in alphabetical order. So yeah, it's not necessarily in the order it was revealed in.
Right. Also, could I say that, compared to the Warfare Cybertron Air Razor, this Air Razor looks more like an eagle.
Kind of does.
Yeah, it's like the head.
Yeah.
Hold the peg in the beak.
Yeah.
She is representing America right
here. So the next figure, since this is alphabetical, is Rise of the Beast RC.
Red RC.
What? You kind of cut out a little.
Yeah, red RC.
Yeah. It is a very reddish pink color. And instead of the standard pink, or even the blue of Prime. Actually, I will note, this looks not great. These giant wheels behind the feet.
I agree, yeah. It's too much kibble.
Those look like that will just stick way out there. They probably could have at least tried to maybe fold it up some so that it isn't as didn't protrude as much. That would probably help. Admittedly, it is a figure the size of Wheelie. So it is one of the core class figures, so that makes sense that it isn't going to be as well done as the deluxes and up. But still.
Yeah.
Still, yeah, it's not going to be as clean, but still. You could at least probably fold the wheel in on top of itself on each side.
Oh yeah. And I'm sure in the future we would probably get more clean.
Probably. So, yeah. The vehicle mode looks fine, though.
Oh, yeah. Looks pretty, yes, like her. Yeah, of course, I do see parts of the robot mode, but hardly noticeable. Yeah. If you were to take a instant, you would hardly even notice it.
Yeah. And admittedly, at times that can just be something that you don't have much choice with.
No.
Especially often with motorcycles, they don't really have as easy of, if you really can't figure out where to put something, just kind of make a shell. Do they?
Yeah, that's literally what most motorcycle transformers are.
We have Battle Trap.
Yes. Never seen this one, but I've seen like other iterations.
Yeah, I know the original iteration of Battle Trap. I have the, if I'm remembering correctly, the Power of the Primes version. He is typically made of a small helicopter and a truck that then turn into a single robot. Admittedly, that does not work with realistic vehicle scaling unless you want him to be ginormous.
Oh yeah.
But, yeah, that is something that's a bit different. He's also blue and white with the original form. I don't know if there's any really besides the original design of him. Yeah. I will say I do like how the tow truck looks, though.
Yeah, a tow truck with like a ball and chain as.
Yeah.
I think he's more like a battle.
Yeah, it ends up. I don't necessarily like his head. He looks like he has a bit. He's a bit pointy in robot mode.
Yeah, he kind of looks like he's wearing like one of those samurai helmets.
Kind of. But yeah, it does at least feel like it ends up being relatively fine. I will note it also seems like his legs might be a little slim, but I know that one is coming up that later along the line that I would say is even more noticeable than it is with this guy. Yes. So one of the ones that they did not show a figure for, but did say is coming. They have stated Beachcomber is coming at some point. Probably the wave after these guys. For Legacy. I don't think from what I remember, they didn't go into a ton of detail for him. Though I'm going to assume, given if I remember correctly, he was one of the mini car robots like Bumblebee.
Oh.
I'm going to assume it's going to be a deluxe. That would be probably the safe bet. Yeah.
No.
I did not remember this would go next. Speaking of Bumblebee, a different version of Bumblebee, but still Bumblebee.
That's like Transformers 1 Bayverse.
Yeah. So I think you told me before you never actually watched the Bumblebee movie.
No, I haven't.
They actually at the end have him scan the first live action film's Camaro mode. So it makes sense that he ends up looking like that Camaro because it's pretty much from what I can tell a modified version of it for this film.
Kind of seems annoying to have to like switch from like a Volkswagen to a Camaro to like
an off-road Camaro.
Yeah, exactly. It's like make your mind, people.
I mean, he also became at one point in that film a bright yellow Jeep. But at that point, he was kind of running. He had kind of just had. He kind of had just lost his ability to communicate, and was being attacked. So he wasn't really. He was kind of just trying to find anything to scan to flee and somewhat be disguised then.
But still, the process itself was playing it.
Yeah.
Or your red parts to match like this.
Yeah.
other parts of the car and everything. It's not even just the outside. It's probably for the inside as well.
Yeah. So something I, if I remember correctly, that I've heard, apparently the stripes in the actual movie won't go all the way to the back of the car, unlike how the original one did. Because they ended up doing that with the Studio Series figure.
Oh.
Admittedly, that's in part because I don't know how much they knew about. Because I think, from what I understand, they have somewhat limited understanding of what's going on with the film, with the designers of the toys and the film designers themselves. So they only have kind of, so they don't necessarily know every detail of how it's going to change. So I think the guy had just gone, yes, I'm gonna have it go all the way back, just because that would make sense since it's technically the same car still.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You'd think that.
Yeah. Let's see. Who's next? Cheetor!
Yeah.
Which I still feel looks almost like his colors are more of an inspiration of the Mutant Tigatron figure they released not long ago, except with green, except with that green color being replaced with gray.
Yeah, it kind of does. Almost kind of reminds me of like Cheetor's Transmetal 2 form. Like not like the actual color scheme, but like the
kind of that they are in effect techno-organic does kind of help, does kind of bring those comparisons, doesn't it? These seem to at least not be nightmare creature designs, though.
Yeah. God. We can go all day ranting about like beast machines, but that's not what this does.
Yeah, that doesn't hold any bearing on this. Though I wouldn't be surprised if at some point they will start redoing Beast Machine characters, because that was a whole show.
Probably in like the next decade.
Yeah, I don't know how high that is on the list for them, especially considering there are other shows that people actually like a lot better than Beast Machines.
Like good, God, like good on them for liking something else other than.
Other than, at times, things that look like they have their flesh flayed off of them.
Yeah. Like about it. Modes look uglier than the animal modes.
That is very true. Anyway, next character. If I'm remembering correctly, this is Crash Bar. He is a new Junkion.
Yes.
I will note, the shoulder pylons and kind of the chest area make me think a little of Armada Megatron.
Oh, yeah. At least it's not the same color scheme as that Megatron.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the color scheme on that thing?
So he turns into a smaller motorcycle. I actually have heard the designers kind of think of these Junkions almost as like children Junkions that are new cadets in comparison to like Wreck-Gar and the other full size Junkions.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I will note. I know that Wreck-Gar and I think it's Junkyard that ended up being the retool of him, are designed to more have a deluxe-sized figure ride their motorcycle mode. So that is something neat that you can do with these guys, is have it actually scale pretty much perfectly instead of having someone slightly oversized. So that's also something neat.
Gives them a reason to actually collect the figures.
Outside of, just already somewhat liking the Mad Max aesthetic that the Junkions just have.
Yeah, there is. But at least it gives it like a collector's feel. Like it does, like how Legos always had those like certain stuff that have like certain collectibles and stuff.
Kind of.
Okay, never mind then.
Let's see. So this is Crosscut.
I was gonna get Ratchet.
No, this is Crosscut. He's actually from. I think he either originated as like a comic or repaint of Skids, and he is a senator.
A senator?
Yes, a senator.
For Cybertron.
Yes.
Cybertron.
Yes.
Yeah.
From what I understand, the reason why his wheels are red is because the designer really wanted the red hands, because that is something the original had, and probably to kind of break up the hand and wrist from just the forearm.
What they could have done is made like the higher part of the wheel black and left the center red.
I think it's due to how the molds are that they ended up on the same mold.
Oh, you're right.
Because I think Skids has black hands and black wheels, so they might have just ended up in the same mold.
Yeah.
So that is a slightly unfortunate thing. Though technically, if someone really was annoyed with it, they could take like black paint and paint the wheels black. Or I think actually, at least the front ones seem to be like they might be on like a peg that you could take them off of and 3D print new ones and put them on, or just steal some from a Skids, and maybe if they were willing to go through the hassle, change out the back ones as well.
Yeah, but who would want to go through that?
There are people who would go through all of that. Not me. I know.
They're not one of the people, but
yeah,
that's as much as I can say.
Yeah.
All I will say.
So, this is DevCon. Unfortunately, not the DevCon I would be more interested in. That thing is that DevCon is completely alien in design and Decepticon. This was another one that they just kind of noted. It's coming out. It's going to be out. I'm going to assume again part of the next wave of the legacy figures.
Oh.
I don't fully know what he would turn into. You know why?
Like,
he looks like he looks like he has design traits with like Scourge and his sweeps, but at the same time, we never see him transform in the show, and he definitely has some aspects that are different.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know what he'll turn into with that. Unfortunately, they didn't put like a vehicle mode in these pictures of the guys who just said and confirmed, yep, we're making further down the line.
No.
So yeah. We have Dirge. This is like the only one we have any more information on of that. It's just a straight repack from the from the Earthrise 2-pack. But I suspect, but from what I understand, just on a standard release single figure. So that's good for if someone hasn't finished their Seeker collection.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, I forgot. I did put in a picture of the figure, since this is one we actually have pictures of, considering, like I said, they said they're literally just repacking this thing.
Oh.
We have Core Class Grimlock.
Looks like McDonald's Happy Meal with Grimlock.
Kind of does. His feet are giant.
Yeah, exactly. His hands as well.
From what I think I heard somewhere that his tail might be on backwards here. I don't know if that's just because of that's how it's being designed, or if the person who took the photo had it mistransformed. But yeah, that does look kind of unsightly with how it currently is for his tail there, just sitting there like a tumorous growth.
Big Grimlock have a tumor in his tail.
Oh, this one. So they announced that, yes, Armada Megatron is indeed showing up. Which does make it funny with I believe his name is Crash Bar, because, like I said, it feels like he has some similar design motifs to this guy. So that is kind of funny. I suspect, being actual Megatron, he's not going to be squished down to a deluxe size just because Crash Bar looks somewhat like him.
Oh.
Especially, I said I don't think he's going to be squished down. And because he turns into a tank, not a motorcycle. I wholly suspect he's completely new mold. I was just pointing out, it's just funny considering how I had mentioned the similarities with the robot mode.
Yeah. I gotcha.
Yeah. We have Metal Hawk next.
Don't think I've ever heard of him.
From what I understand, he's kind of the leader of the Autobot Pretenders in I think it's either it's not Headmasters, I think Super God Master Force. One of the Japanese one of the Japanese animes that follows up from season 3 of the original show.
Oh.
He does not have his Pretender shell.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I can see why. It's basically somewhat like a cyborg human to a degree.
Well, yeah. To be fair, most of the Transformers kind of look like cyborg humans.
Yeah, but not to the degree of the majority of them of like an actual flesh face and such.
Well, yes, you're right. You got me there.
Yeah, so I mean, I could see them maybe doing like a smaller figure at some point to actually be put alongside him. That is of the Pretender shell, but no way are they gonna manage to merge the inner and Pretender shell with this guy.
No way. There's no way.
Yeah. That is how you get Beast Machines Transformers.
basically how it works.
Yeah. Yeah. He's also apparently somewhat. He somewhat uses the same. He uses some of the same pieces as Cyclonus, I believe, actually.
It does have like the same like wings as Cyclonus.
Yeah. But in general, roughly more Earth plane looking alt mode than Cyclonus's very clearly Cybertronian one.
Well, of course.
I think they revealed this guy as Nemesis Leo Prime. I think I saw that that would technically be a character called Dark Amber Prime. Dark Amber Leo Prime.
Oh.
It's another one of of Japan's anime characters, but this time one of their two Beast Wars shows that weren't just the original Beast Wars and Beast Machines being ported over.
Right, yeah.
Then we have Core Nemesis Prime, who actually has the Energon Axe.
It's a blue Energon Axe.
Yeah, I think that's in part to kind of match his the little bits of teal across him.
Also, weren't the windows on like his chest
Usually teal. I don't think so. I'm pretty sure they're usually red.
Maybe you have something else.
Possibly. Yeah. I still feel I noticed this when they originally made the Kingdom Core Optimus. I feel like this is a little tall.
Yeah, especially around that like.
Yeah.
I feel like it's like a tad bit.
Yeah, it's ever so slightly off, but it is off enough for some people to be like, yeah, that's off.
Even the smallest details can make the biggest.
Yeah.
That's what I've learned in drawing class.
We have this is the Holiday Optimus Prime, which some people kind of just refer to as Christmas Prime or Santa Prime. So they didn't show like any colored rendering or anything of it. They plan to do it in standard Optimus Prime colors.
Uh-huh.
So admittedly, there isn't much new here to look at. They have previously released product because apparently they didn't feel like taking like the CAD files, because I'm pretty sure they have CAD files of this, and just recoloring the CAD files and then rendering it, which I feel would have helped with kind of showing off what that would look like before they needed to fully have a figure out.
Yeah, you think that.
Yeah. A little extra one to throw in because it technically was revealed after Origins Jazz.
Yeah, I forgot that he he used to transform into that Cybertronian color.
I mean, it admittedly shows up for like a minute or so or less in the very first episode, and that's like it.
They like at least like 7 to 8 seconds tops.
Yeah, it's very fast. Most of the Origin vehicles are very quickly shown, and that's about it. So it is neat that they're going through and giving us figures of this. Though it does make me wonder, considering it's so similar to what Wheeljack turns into, are they going to modify the Jazz mold? Or are they going to make a whole new Wheeljack mold with it?
That's what I wonder too.
Yeah.
I wonder if they'll be doing like characters as like origin figures, like like the characters that we seen,
That
what
we
they originally turned into.
I wonder that's a good question as well. Uh, what would
It's
be,
like Megatron. What did he turn? Oh, he didn't. Always turn into a tiny pistol before
yeah
he went.
yeah. What would also be neat is if they extended this to like the Beast Wars cast. Though then you still do have the thing of that technically then Earth modes could show up on Cybertron, but like a pre-Beast mode would be interesting to see whether Cybertronian in nature or Earth in nature.
Yeah.
Animated Prowl. Not enough chin. Not enough. That is the biggest thing I have to say with him. He does not have enough chin. His head is not skinny and tall enough to be really animated Prowl. Otherwise, I could see this easily being like a new version of that exact character, even though it's kind of boxier. It's literally the head ends up being so lacking of that distinct style. It does not feel like it's the exact character, even though they tried to give him extra chin. They didn't put enough extra chin in there. Yeah, you can see like robot mode in this as well, even though that does clean up decently enough as well.
Yeah, but not for like middle part to.
Yeah, the middle part is a little messy, but it does clean up decently enough. It's funny. I think
RC's motorcycle mode.
Yeah. The funny thing is, I think the original figure for animated Prowl that was made ended up cleaning up in both modes really well. So that's kind of funny, and I think I saw something of that. It's not. And I think it's also a deluxe size, though that was an older deluxe. It might have been bigger. I don't know.
Neither do I.
Let's see. Next up, Scourge. Can you tell who I was talking about with the really skinny legs that look off, even more so than Battle Trap?
Yeah, I can definitely see it.
Yeah, it kind of looks like you have a rather muscly torso stuck upon chicken legs.
Yeah, like the tank from Left 4 Dead.
Yeah.
Completely unrated, but still.
Yeah. But I do like how this ends up actually somewhat fitting in with like Dark of the Moon Megatron, of a theme of the villainous tanker trucks that look almost Mad Maxian in style.
I was about to say, yeah.
So that I do like. I just do not necessarily like his skinny legs and his little whatever helm thing this is that's around his neck. His chainmail helmet, I guess. I mean, this hand is all weird, but then again, so was Megatron's for the first 3 live action films.
Yeah. Well, you have to think about it. They have to put the legs somewhere. They definitely can't go into the. Is where would the rest of the body go? Can't go in the back. That's gonna a lot of kibble.
Yeah.
Something that most Transformer fans do not want.
Yeah.
Especially Jobby.
Yeah. The one thing I will note is depending on how the figure itself when it gets uh, when when I can see someone actually look at it closer, depending on how tightly packed that whole trailer hitch section is, I might question why they didn't at least make it a little thicker. Even a little thicker would end up helping with proportion.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But yeah, that may be due to like clearance or something. Or it might just be the design. For some reason, he literally decided, no, I will never do leg day, ever. I am against leg day. Next up, I'm blanking on the name of the Insecticons right now.
Ragnar, because he's the little what?
The beetle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you can tell, he has like the pincers on the side of his head.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we have our second of the Insecticons. I have seen someone kind of complain about his torso looking a little short. I can kind of see that, but also technically his torso is all of this as well, not just from here up.
Yeah, so, exactly. Yeah.
Though this little inflatable tube around his waist does kind of does kind of make it seem like this has nothing to do with his torso. So I can see what those people mean by it looks like it should be a bit taller, but he does have the decently large torso with that though.
Yeah. At least we know he'll be able to swim.
That's true. Yeah. Then again, the Generation 1 Decepticons can all just fly in robot mode, and I think the Insecticon's in insect mode, so it wouldn't really matter for swimming.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. Consider... it may be a similar matter to, like, Crosscut. Considering these are supposed to be, like, feet back here, why didn't they cast them in this gray silver plastic? But it may just be the same thing as Crosscut, where it ended up on one of the two on one of them on the purple mold, and they couldn't do much about it.
Yeah, I remember the pincers being gray in the show, but I don't quite remember the front legs being I think like both of the legs are purple.
That might be. Skyquake. I don't like the Skyquake design, but that's very much on that. I have a I suspect that's heavily based on. I have a preference towards Earth vehicle modes if they have one, and I know the Prime version of Skyquake, and he has a jet, an Earth jet.
No.
Mind you, he ends up outside of missing the cockpit on his torso, looking decently enough like the Prime version in robot mode. So that ends up looking decent enough like it, minus, the cockpit kind of goes here, but instead we just have basically the torso of the Generation 1 Skyquake. But then everything outside of the cockpit here is pretty much just Generation 1 Skyquake, and it does bug me. Because at that point, why don't you just make it the Generation 1 Skyquake and do another go at Prime Skyquake where it's not just Generation 1 Skyquake with some...
I don't really like the thing, the side or the front.
Yeah.
Makes it way too bold.
Yeah, it's especially since that cockpit makes it seem like it's supposed to be like an Earth jet, but clearly the rest of it looks Cybertronian.
Yeah, it's like a mix of like Cybertronian and Earth jet.
Yeah. Yeah, and with yeah, which that doesn't necessarily look great. Like I said, this looks decently enough like the character, even though it's not the same. Minus that this does bug me, but that's a bit on preference.
Yeah, I understand that.
But this ends up just looking like so. Outside of that, it ends up with some elements of the original figure that ends up working decently well here. But yeah, trying to mash those two jet modes together does not work in my opinion.
No, it
Go with
really
the, yeah, go with the one or the other. Do an Earth jet or do a Cybertronian jet. Don't try and make both.
yeah, and if you're gonna do both, at least make it like feel like it works. Not, like don't try to like
Don't make it the meme of the live action Starscream where it looks almost like just a Dorito.
yeah, exactly.
Core class Thundercracker.
Okay.
Pretty much with just the Kingdom Starscream, but actually Thundercracker, even which we had also gotten as Skywarp. I will note, Skywarp did not have his null rays. Thundercracker is only shown with one here, which has led to some people joking of that Starscream came with both, Skywarp came with none, so Thundercracker's just gonna come with this singular one because it's the only one they've shown him with. There. I'm noticing here even I don't necessarily see the other one on this side.
Yeah, that kind of bugs me a bit.
Yeah.
Choose which side you want the gun to go.
Yeah, I suspect he'll have both, because he doesn't have some extra pack-in thing he has to go out with, like Skywalker.
They add a second one.
Yeah, I suspect he does have a second one, because it's not like a Skywarper that had to go into a different budget for a sword for Kingdom Hot Rod, which I don't know of anyone that really likes Kingdom Hot Rod or the sword. So, yeah, that was unfortunate that he just missed out on Skywarp missed out on his null rays for effectively nothing.
Yeah.
Twin Cast. Rebuilt Blaster from the animes that follow G1.
Oh.
Yeah, Blaster gets rebuilt into Twin Cast, and Soundwave gets rebuilt into Sound Blaster.
Oh.
That's where those originate from. There. He comes with... I'm blanking on which one of the two it is. I think it's Rewind. I think Eject's the blue one.
Oh.
Though unfortunately still, transparent plastic, which is unfortunate. Yeah, it's Rewind here. And that looks like the end of the figures from that stream. Overall opinions. Let's see. I would pretty much say they did a good job with most things, but there are some things that look off.
Yeah, I agree.
But I am most excited to be able to add this guy actually to my collection for not like 100-something bucks. Because that is what he goes for on eBay alone, without his secondary, without the secondary partner.
Oh. Oof.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess that's the end of this recording.
Can I say my favorite though?
Yes.
I think my favorite out of all of them has to be like Shrapnel, because frankly I'm a big fan of the Insecticons in the show, and I never actually got a figure of any of them. At least I think so. But it would be nice to actually have a figure of Shrapnel, and maybe even other Insecticons that may appear in the future.
I know that Kickback is out. Actually, I know exactly that he's out, and I know you should know he's out, because I ended up asking you the other day which of the guys sitting out on the shelf I should grab of like the deluxes that were sitting there. So I have actually Kickback right on my desk.
I forgot about that.
You forgot. That's funny. But yeah, I know that Legacy Kickback should be out. So I guess maybe plan to try and keep an eye on him, an eye out for him, if you haven't already.
Okay.
But yeah.
I'll keep an eye out for him.
But yeah, so yeah, I guess we'll end with that. We have the most looked forward to ones being Shrapnel and the re-release of Dirge. I will note, probably, if I were to pick ones that aren't just re-releases, Twincast and where is it? And Crash Bar, the two I'm most interested in outside of Dirge's re-release.
Okay.
So, see everyone next time, where we will look at the Iron Factory Samurai figures.